Hey everyone, welcome back. We are having a little bit of a schedule change here. It is now going to be myself and Woke Fossey in set
Guys,
number
I
3.
turned Roller Coaster into Gemma.
Yep,
It's my magic trick.
we all traded exactly where we were on the screen. So we also are now going to have Nibs versus DJ Prime, and we're going to bring y'all Bat versus Infernape Eat Grape, or Grape here in game number 4 of the night, as opposed to game number... Well, we're switching pairings up is all. We just had to do that. Having a little bit of connection issues, but we're working it out. And thank y'all so much for being patient. JJ Silva, yes, merch indeed. We have all of our choice bands, our Tiki bands, and Wook Fossey just dropping the exclamation merch in the chat. So
mine is on the way.
Yep, yours is on the way
today.
Yep, I will be fulfilling that tomorrow. So
no worries.
Yep. So super exciting here. I know y'all had started to break down these teams. They're obviously going to be a little bit different. We are still going to see the same 6 from DJ Prime, but we're going to see a different 6 here coming out from Nibs. A familiar 6, as I just called the previous Colossal game. And I'll say anyone who watched the Players' Cup 2 finals will recognize this team as Wolf Glick's championship team. So
I mean, and Nibs, we know, is a big Colossal stan, so I'm not surprised at all. I know that he used Santi's team a lot after Players' Cup 1, which also had a Colossal. So this is not surprising to me at all. I think one of the really interesting things about this team is that it has 2 ways to go ahead and set up that steam engine, one being the Surf Dragapult, and the other being the Aqua Jet Urshifu.
Yeah, for sure. Being able to pivot around and have both of those. It was similar to what we saw in the last set, where we did see... I'm not sure if Nibs saw my message. Y'all are good to start if you can still hear me, Nibs. There we go. Looks like they have started. Yeah, so having both of those Pokemon on the field with the ability to proc it, I really like the iteration of Wolf's team here with the addition of that Galarian Moltres, putting on a lot of pressure, as well as kind of knowing the movesets of these. It is one of the downsides when playing an opponent. They should know pretty much the 6 you're bringing. And I believe
probably
this is
the
just
items
off the
on the
code.
6.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That Life Orb Moltres put in a ton of work for Wolf Glick during the Players' Cup 2. I don't know. Again, if you saw it, you know it. You know what we're talking about. And you might see it here. But really, the feature piece of this team is that Colossal with the weakness policy and self-proccing steam engine. So I expect that that's probably what we're going to see front and center here from Nibs.
Yeah, for sure. Looking at the opposing team, there's nothing faster than that Dragapult. So there's nothing that forces you to go for the Urshifu necessarily, and you really have to, like, the scariest thing is probably something like that Landorus, but at the end of the day Landorus is gonna have to Dynamax to take you out, therefore you regain the speed control, even if it is something like a Scarflando.
Yeah, exactly. I think maybe you look like, if you are DJ Prime, you have a Trick Room mode on this team, presumably. The problem is, I don't know how you get it up after the steam engine and the weakness policy is procced with the Colossal. It's kind of dangerous for anything on the other side of the field, but here we go. We'll see what these players decided to lead with. For
sure. One thing that Nibs really has to watch out for here is that Sableye with the ability to go for that Prankster Quash and shut down any Pokemon until the moving functionally lasts. It's obviously going to be pretty scary here.
Yeah, and we see that DJ Prime just goes ahead and leads with the Incineroar and the... Oh, I'm sorry, that's Nibs with the Incineroar and the Dragapult. And then DJ Prime has that Sableye and the Cantonian Zapdos.
Yeah, for sure. So obviously offering some good damage output from that Zapdos. Probably not the 2 Pokemon you want to see on the other side of the field. If you're Zapdos, especially like knowing kind of just how bulky that Incineroar really is. And also that Dragapult resists most attacks. Obviously you can go for something like a Max Airstream and get some good damage off. But if we saw one thing from Wolf, it's that he runs a fairly fast, fairly bulky Dragapult without a whole lot of offensive investment.
Right, and I believe, though, this Dragapult does have access to Breaking Swipe, which lowers the attack. So if that Zapdos does switch out, and maybe Nibs is expecting some kind of switch in from the other side, it might be a good time to go ahead for that breaking swipe.
Yeah, we see the fake out come out here from the Sableye as the light screen goes up, making Nibs' teams basically tank these special attacks even better. There with the incredibly resisted move of Thunderbolt into the Dragapult. Obviously, add that light screen up. Not really gonna be doing a whole lot of damage.
Yeah,
Nibs setting himself up nicely.
Yeah, I forgot that this Dragapult has one screen, and that's light screen, and I think that's an interesting choice. There are a lot of big special attackers, especially that threaten Dragapult right now, the Galarian Moltres being one of them. And I think that is an interesting choice to put that one screen on the Dragapult.
Yeah, for sure. The one problem I think that Nibs is in right now is that he's in a little bit passive here of a turn number 2. Sableye opts for the trick this turn into, let's see what the target is. Dragapult obtains the object button, and the safety goggles are now on that Sableye. So obviously Dragapult not really going for a max here, so not really what you want to be seeing if that's the Sableye, but also probably just wanting to try and get it off of itself and onto something else, force something else out. This does give Nibs a incredibly free switch in, and knowing the fact that he also parting shotted, he's going to be able to set up next turn and kind of do basically whatever he wants. He does still have to be wary of that Quash coming out from a Sableye, but now he's clearly in a very good position. Only the Colossal can be quashed, as the Urshifu going for priority move would not really, you can't quash that. You'd move after it.
It's immune. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not so much that it's immune, but more that like...
Oh, I thought it was is this dark type? Oh, no,
this is the water.
The surging strikes, right.
Yeah, but the fact is, it going for a priority move and being faster than the opposing Sableye just means that you can. Now, Nibs does leave himself open to a quash potentially onto that Dragapult, or the Colossal. So really trying to say, like, you can either stop me from getting... you can either stop my steam engine from going super fast this turn, or you can force me to attack before I get my steam engine. But either way, the Sableye is likely going to be going down this turn. And actually... No, go ahead.
We do see the Zapdos switch out, and the Landorus comes in, which is going to threaten some offensive pressure onto that Colossal. But should the steam engine go off this turn, it will be outspeeding that Landorus in the following turn. So let's see what happens. We see Nibs go ahead and Dynamax that Colossal. Not altogether unsurprising.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, Colossal's Gigantamax ability, doing that passive damage turn over turn is just so powerful. We saw it in the last game, just kind of how much chip damage is able to do. We see here the, really good play. Tricking.
Very smart.
Yeah, so now it won't be getting the benefit of the weakness policy. It will be getting the benefit, though, of these safety goggles. So, extra immune to any kind of sleep powders. Not that that's going to be happening.
Right.
And we do see that Volcalith come out. It is now neutral instead of boosted. And without that, it's not enough to pick up the one-hit KO, but that residual Coles damage should be enough to go ahead and finish it off here.
Yeah, we see that extra. Look at how much that did to Landorus. Like Landorus is just like,
the Sableye lives on
is
one.
Able to hang on. Nice.
Yeah, for sure. So now the Sableye is able to just kind of continue to be disruptive, go for things like maybe a Dynamax and trick a weakness policy on your own Landorus. I don't know. But if this is AV Landorus, you don't want that. But yeah, you are probably going for something like a Quash plus Max Quake into this Colossal, leaving Nibs pretty open to the potential of a... Oh, not even going for the Max Quake, just opting probably for a Earthquake here.
Earthquake, yeah. And we do see the breaking swipe come out from that Dragapult, which is going to lower the physical attack of both Landorus and Sableye, but Sableye is taken out by that breaking swipe. Yeah. And we see the Earthquake, which is not enough to pick up the KO on either Pokemon because of that breaking swipe.
Yeah, that breaking swipe putting in big damage here for Nibs. Or not so much big damage, but big damage mitigation, allowing this Colossal to live one more turn after taking a Surf outside of Sun, as well as an Earthquake from that from that Landorus. I think like, the one thing that Nibs could have been really afraid of was the potential for something like a Quash Max Quake, and that Landorus would have just been in a position to take the KO. I understand Prime not necessarily wanting to max in front of that Dragapult, knowing that it has things like Will-O-Wisp and Breaking Swipe, You do have to be really careful of that. But in this positioning, Nibs is able to go ahead and go for kind of whatever he wants for the remainder. If he does set the sun up, he has to be wary of his Urshifu in the back, knowing that it's going to be doing less damage.
Yeah, not going to be doing as much damage in the sun. I think he might just go ahead and target down that Zapdos. We'll see. We'll see. Either one he could actually choose to target down with that Colossal.
Yeah,
the important thing too is that Dragapult gets to live one more turn to kind of maybe disrupt the gameplay on the other side of the field.
Yeah, it gets to continue to go for damage mitigation. I mean, not really on these two likely special attackers, but if that late screen, I missed it at the end of last turn, if that wore off, if it can stick around for one more turn and potentially be in a position to where it can set another light screen, that's just going to be really, really difficult for Prime to, out damage his way out of.
Yeah, the type advantage that Nibs has right now against these two opposing Pokemon is going to be rough. And we do see the Colossal go for the G-Max Vocalith, its signature move, right into the Zapdos. Not quite enough to KO the Zapdos, which means it will be able to get a move off this turn. But it will still be taking damage from those Vocalith Coals.
Ooh, and that Max Lightning is not enough damage to take out this Colossal, meaning that Colossal is going to be in a position where it can go for something like a Heat Wave next turn, threatening a ton of damage onto Celesteela, as well as continuing to pressure the Zapdos.
Likely, and the Dragapult is still alive.
Yeah, Dragapult's still alive, so has the ability to go for another light screen here as the light screen wears off right there. And because Prime didn't go for something like an Airstream into that Dragapult, this Dragapult will be faster and can still go for that light screen and be in a really good position for Nibs to just kind of continue to clean this one up here, especially given what he has in the back. Being in a 2v4 and the opponent's Dynamax Pokemon is kind of threatened here just by Vocalith chip alone.
We do see the Colossal go for the Heat Wave. That is enough to take the Zapdos out and does a ton of damage to Celesteela.
Yeah, for sure. So at this point, really Nibs is in a position to just kind of clean it up.
Yeah, this team is good. We see the Meteor Beam come out from the Celesteela, which is a great move. It's overflowing with space power. Who doesn't like that?
Yeah.
We do see the Power Herb item on the Celesteela, which is going to let this 2-turn move charge in 1 turn.
Yeah. Really interesting. It does just take out the Dragapult there. That is going to be a Beast Boost.
Beast Boost. I don't know how to say it like the boy.
Beast Boost.
There we go. Roller Coaster chiming in for our Beast Boost call.
Yeah.
Nibs beat both you and I to that.
Dang. Nibs is the only one that gets to put the boost command.
I know, and he's playing right now. That's pretty impressive.
How did he beat us?
Yeah, at this point, something like just a fake out, or Urshifu's a perfectly fine answer here. Really, any priority move will just take out the Celesteela. It can go for Protect, but notably can't go for Protect against an Urshifu.
Yeah. If you're Prime, what do you do in game 2?
Oh yeah, I guess he also doesn't even need to click that because it's faster than Celesteela. Yeah, game 2, I think you really have to try and perhaps go for something like Trick Room. Maybe lead something that hides the fact that you're going for Trick Room, and then instead, switch into it. Getting that Glass Share up could be really dangerous for Nibs, as it can hit super effectively into the Moltres. Most Glass Shares carry something like a Max Quake that can handle the Colossal, especially if it's undynamaxed. But yeah, I think that maybe the Trick Room mode is the way to go.
Yeah, I agree. I think maybe also, saving your Trick Eject button for, the Dynamax Pokemon. It's one way of really switching out the Dynamax Pokemon on the opposing side. It's a strategy, right? And we've seen it since the beginning of Sword and Shield. We've seen the strategy for a long time. So it just really pays dividends when you can manage to eject the Dynamax Pokemon.
Yeah, it is something you just have to be so aware of on that turn 1 that you can't just go for the max immediately. You've got to find some way of pivoting around. Perhaps something like, Urshifu has the ability to force it out with something like a they're both going to be a +1 priority, and Urshifu is actually faster than the Sableye because Prankster only boosts you by +1 priority. And the Aqua Jet would move technically before that. So you could potentially force a Sableye out with something like an Aqua Jet into it if that's something that you feel like is going to get you enough out of the turn. The problem is it just feels a little bit passive. Maybe instead having it be something like last game where you force it out, or you take it onto something like your Dragapult. You don't necessarily care that it got forced out. It was actually kind of perfect positioning for
That's true.
for Nibs, where he had to switch out the Dragapult, but also was in a position to. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit of feedback from somewhere. I'm just gonna go ahead and take us out of studio.
Yeah, it looks like Nibs is not changing a thing. He says if it works, I'm gonna do it again, bringing the core of this team, that Colossal, with the two ways to set it up, with both the water type moves on the Dragapult and the Urshifu.
Yeah,
and I
for
believe
sure.
he also brought the Incineroar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we see the same lead from Nibs?
Yeah, same lead again here. This time going to be more effective as this Glacier is now in a position where it's at -1. So before it wants to get something like a Chilling Neigh boost, it's going to have to work pretty hard here. It can hit super effective into both of these Pokemon, obviously stab into that Dragapult, but we know that this Dragapult's relatively bulky and something like a Breaking Swipe is probably pretty likely into it.
Yeah.
You could mitigate that with Quash, but...
But the Breaking Swipe at that point, the Glacier is at -2, and the damage output is going to be severely hampered. We do see the Misharna, the Trick Room setter, so maybe we just see something like a Max Guard this turn. I don't know. Maybe we do see the Max Hailstorm into the Dragapult. It'll be interesting to see maybe the Max Quake into Incineroar. We'll just have to see what the Glacier goes for.
Yeah, I think unfortunately being intimidated here, and with this Dragapult having the ability to lower its stats kind of regardless of what it does, and ooh, we get the Will-O-Wisp off here. Yeah, so that's going to be really bad for it. This Musharna...
it's a Lumberry, so that burn will not be taking effect this turn.
That's definitely one way to go ahead. But we do see the taunt here into what was the Sableye, now the Musharna, as this Hailstorm will come out, and still going to be doing a good chunk of damage here into this Dragapult, and it is actually enough to pick up that one-hit KO, interestingly enough.
It sure is, and I think I kind of am okay with that play. Now the screens don't get set up, right? Now the light screen doesn't get set up, and depending on what DJ Prime has in the back, may or may not matter too much, but it's definitely going to help your Pokemon not having to deal with that light screen. And the hail is set, so there's a little bit of residual damage going on, at least until the weather gets changed. So let's see how Nibs decides to try to answer this here. I do think the taunt was a great play into the Misharna. It's not surprising that Nibs would try to taunt a Sableye.
Yeah.
It's a Pokemon that can get taunted for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Sorry, just updating our overlay there. Yeah, and it was a pretty safe taunt too, knowing that you can't go for anything like a Quash into the Incineroar because it is a dark type. It's immune to all the Prankster moves coming out from that Sableye. But now this Glacier is back to neutral. It's in a pretty safe position. Nibs has a relatively free play, like a Parting Shot, Max, maybe Max Guard or Protect, trying to force into like Weakness Policy boost here or something. But yeah, we do see the Max come out here from Nibs. Gonna go ahead and get this Colossal up and boosted, but interestingly enough, it's not in a position where it can proc its Steam Engine immediately. It's gonna have to do a little bit of work pivoting around.
Yeah, and I think we just saw the Sableye switch back in for DJ Prime, so it's going to have access to a Prankster Trick on the next turn for sure, because the Colossal just protected, so it's probably not going to Max Guard again next turn, and now the Sableye is in position to run its prankster shenanigans.
Yeah, for sure. Nibs' only switch in here is the Urshifu. It's going to be losing its Focus Sash, if nothing else, to the Hail Chip here. But if it survives this turn, it's in a position... Ooh, and the Max Quake correctly calling the Max Guard, as it does some damage there in Urshifu. Obviously not going to put it into anything like Hail Chip range. But now Nibs does have a play of going for something like an Aqua Jet into that Sableye to force the eject button out, and then something like a Vocalith into that partner as well, and trying to get those coals up. Unfortunately for him, it does kind of, it's going to be in a roughly it's a little tougher of a position here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what comes out because there are a couple of options for both players. Like you said, you could either Aqua Jet the Sableye to force it out. You could, if you are DJ Prime, you could switch out your Sableye, wanting to preserve that eject button for later. Depends if you want to take what would probably be a Vocalith coming into your Musharna or your Sableye.
Yeah, interestingly enough, though, this Sableye is not. It can get the trick off, but it's not going to be able to proc that trick on the Colossal until after it gets an attack off. So, Nibs in this position, safe to get an attack off. So actually, Sableye goes for the fake out into the Urshifu. Really good play.
Yeah, so now the Urshifu is not going to get the Aqua Jet off at all to either its Colossal or the Sableye. But we do see the Max Vocalith. Lily676, thanks for the follow.
Yeah, thank you. Welcome to the ATX VGC Monday Night Friendlies.
And we do see that Glacier also target that Urshifu with the Max Knuckle, which is enough to raise its defense by 1, take out the Urshifu, and get its Chilling Neigh boost. Oh, no, it didn't take out the Urshifu.
Yeah, it didn't take it out. It raised its attack by 1 stage, which is equivalent to the Chilling Neigh, but I think the DJ Prime was really hoping for probably something like a +2, like a free sword stance with that knockout, going for a Max Knuckle into that. So here again, the Sableye is now threatening this trick eject button shenanigans. The Urshifu could Aqua Jet before the trick would go off, which is interestingly enough, like you could Aqua Jet into the Colossal, get its Steam Engine weakness policy, get 1 big attack off, and then be tricked into it. So that's one potential play that he does have, if you're Nibs.
Yeah, I think you might have to go for it here because now this Colossal has, I think, 1 more turn of Dynamax, and your Pokemon are taking Vocalith damage at the end of every turn. The Glacier has already used all of its turns of Dynamax, and I think it's only at neutral attack now. I think maybe it's at +1 from the Knuckle. Because of that Intimidate, but now it's back to neutral because of this Intimidate.
Yeah, it is back to neutral here. Glacier just opts for the Protect here. It looks like Sableye is just going for that trick again onto this, trying to deny anything like the weakness policy shenanigans, as now this Colossal goes for Max Flare to go ahead and change up the weather, critically protecting that Urshifu in the back, but also not really where it wants to be with having the sun up. Yeah, I think you are right.
Against 2 fire-type Pokemon.
Yeah. Obviously, it's great for the Incineroar, but not so great for your own Urshifu.
Yeah. I think the Glacier took so little damage from that because, of course, that Colossal was denied its weakness policy boost, and also it got a special defense boost on one of its turns of Dynamax. So we do see it stick around for a little while longer. The question is, will it stay in here?
Yeah, for sure. So now Nibs has his decision to make on kind of what he can do. At this point, DJ Prime still has all 4 Pokemon, has really only taken a lot of damage onto this Glacier and Sableye, but at the same time isn't threatening a ton of offensive pressure. This Glacier could just go down to a combination of Flare Blitz plus Heat Wave, and unless that Sableye has a means of proccing with something like a Shadow Sneak, the Colossal is going to stay in until the Glacier tries to attack it.
Hey, Icar, thanks for the follow.
Yeah, thank you. Welcome to the ATX VGC Monday Night Friendlies.
Yeah, and I think it's important too to note that one of the Pokemon that DJ Prime has in the back is that Musharna, which is a Psychic type Pokemon that's probably not going to threaten any damage at all onto that Incineroar.
Yeah.
It's not known as a damage dealer, but we do see the Zapdos come out. This can do some big damage. But also it's threatened in return by the Colossal. And remember, Nibs still has that Urshifu in the back that can still proc the Steam Engine without proccing the weakness policy.
Yeah, so the only problem is if it happens while this Incineroar is still in the back, then it's just going to be switch out immediately with that eject button. So probably don't want to do that.
Yeah, it's true. It did get the eject button. I forgot about that.
Oh no, looks like we have a slight freeze on our feed here. Let me go ahead and check in with Nibs to see if everything is good with Nibs. Nibs, if you can still hear us.
Oh, I see. Something happened.
Something did? Good.
Maybe not.
I'm going to try and reset it real quick. We're having a little bit more issues than normal. I think it's coming down to having a lot more people streaming to the server on a given night. So I'm going to go...
variables, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can't get that back up and running. We apologize for this, folks.
But literally, guys, we're like one of the only streams around that have our Discord players stream onto our stream and play VGC. Like, literally. It's so cool.
Yeah,
Most
it's some
people
cool
just
stuff.
will stream their own games or whatever, but we have actual, wherever you live, we're streaming your game while you're playing if you have a capture card.
Yeah, for sure. If you do have a capture card and you do want to play in these Monday Night Friendlies, you can go !Discord. Thank you. You beat me to it. I appreciate that, Amy.
No worries.
So yeah, it's one of those things where every week we have these friendlies where we're able to broadcast a bunch of different best of threes. Tonight we're having a little bit more technical difficulties than normal. Obviously something going around in cyberspace messing with us, but that's okay. We're gonna figure this out. I think Nibs oftentimes has some issues with his internet, and I'm just waiting to hear back from him right now.
Man, internet problems are so frustrating because you can't do anything about it, and it's like a necessity. You have to have it, and like you're just at the whim of the internet gods,
Yeah, so it looks like Nibs' internet went down, and
Oh, no.
I think that they disconnected, unfortunately. So we are gonna load up a game number 3. I think that was on Nibs' side, so we're gonna go ahead and award Prime with that victory.
Nice.
Yeah, so we are going to move here to game number 3. Unfortunate disconnections do happen. It happens in pretty much every tournament. So we're going to do what we can about getting this back up and running. Nibs, if you can still hear me. Yeah, internet got hit with a crit. It got hit with a wicked blow. I was not super happy about that. So we're going to try and get this stream back up and restarted from Nibs' side of the... Nibs' perspective of the battle.
I really do like this team, though, this Colossal team. I have to say, when Colossal won the first Players' Cup, I was so on it. I was like, oh, right, I get it. It's good. But I do like this team with the addition of the Life Orb, Galarian, Moltres.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm a fan.
I definitely liked Santi's team quite a bit. And the thing I liked most about it was really the way that he played it. And the fact that it didn't play like a typical Colossal team where you always see the exact same thing. It was really just super well constructed with that Choice Band Rillaboom. On the original version, this one obviously being an Assault Vest.
Yeah.
Can you give me 1 second while I go ahead and try and chat with Nibs here? I'm just going to type him.
For sure.
But yeah, if you want to tell the stream a little bit about ATX VGC and the Monday Night Friendlies.
Yeah, for sure. So if you're new around here, you can go ahead and check out our Discord. There's lots of cool stuff over there. One of those things being the Monday Night Friendlies, where you can have a sign up to play VGC on stream, best of 3 format, with some other members of our Discord. You don't have to have a capture card to play. It does help us in scheduling. If you do have a capture card, even better. But if you don't, we have enough people in our community who have capture cards who can go ahead and broadcast your game. Your games will be commentated live on stream as well as posted to YouTube on our YouTube channel. A little while later after those go through editing and everything, they get uploaded there. So if you're interested in playing, do hit !Discord in the chat and join us in the Discord for Monday Night Friendlies. That's how I actually started Monday Night Friendlies. I found out about ATX VGC and was like, man, that's really cool. I live in Austin and there's people here already on the scene. But it's a really nice group of people. We also have, subscriber perks that include some team rental stuff. So if you do have like an Amazon Prime subscription that you're not using, or you would just like to go ahead and support the channel, we greatly appreciate it. And there are some perks in the Discord for you there. We have regular nights where we will develop and kind of think about EV spreads on teams. That's always a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure. Sorry.
EV training nights. No,
yeah,
no
EV
worries.
hour
Go
with
ahead.
Chase.
Yeah.
I wanted to jump in so you weren't just doing this totally solo. Hey, Yoshi and Lugia.
It's okay.
Need the updated legendary sprites. Yeah, we're just working with the box sprites here, unfortunately. Yeah, we in the past have done the 3D sprites, which are fun, but it gets to be a lot with 2 teams with all the 3D sprites. But yeah, the other thing I wanted to mention is if y'all want to see how people have performed in these friendlies, you can check out atxvgc.com/friendlies/standings. I'm going to go ahead and drop that in chat so y'all can check out. We have the comprehensive list of everyone and how they've done. You love to put a competitive team together. Awesome, Banana Bell. Yeah. Well, I know we've done some team building with you over in the Discord, so we can keep working on that for sure. But yeah, I would love to have you build a team and get to use it here on a Monday Night Friendly. It'd be a lot of fun. Sorry again, folks, about our internet issues. Nibs is having to restart his computer, specifically because the internet cut out while streaming, which apparently makes OBS very mad at you. I think the same thing actually happened to Bat. We do have Bat back up and working.
Oh yeah, they're using OBS.
Yeah. Everyone's using OBS for this one, so I think it's just a little bit of an internet issue, a little bit of that going around tonight. Luckily, the mainstream here has not gone down just yet. I'm gonna knock on wood. Not that that's real wood. But yeah, we got a lot of cool stuff going on in the Discord. We're hosting these. We also are doing pretty regular ladder tours. You and I have both participated in the 2 ladder tours that have happened so far. You and I always manage to get paired up in every single tournament that we play in.
Yeah, that's fine though.
Yeah, going all the way back to the Austin PC back in March.
I always lose.
That's not true.
No, it's not true, but most of the time.
You beat me in the Thanksgiving Turkey tour. You beat me at least in one of the Texas VGC tours, I feel like.
I think too that the next ladder tour that we have, I think what I'm looking for is I'm going to bring Oko move.
Oh yeah.
So y'all better watch out.
Some lock-on sheer cold stuff.
I'm gonna be packing an Oko move in the next ladder tour.
Still, one of my favorite all-time clips is you going for the sheer cold
on Chase. Yeah,
that was through paralysis.
My ATX VGC experience, I think.
It was so good. Yeah, so again here, I'm sorry folks, we're still just waiting on a quick restart of Nibs's computer. Just gonna say, let me know when you're back so that we can get...
oh yeah, we also have a channel for tacos in the Discord. And for those of you who aren't from Austin or aren't in Austin, Austin has some of the greatest tacos on the planet, 100%. Prove me wrong, you can't.
Yeah.
But we have a channel for tacos in the Discord, all things tacos, hot sauce, so if you're into that kind of thing, we are Texans and we like our tacos.
Still having a little bit of issues here.
Yeah, Austin, Texas, Fly Kitty Power. Where are you at? If you want to say, if you don't want to say, you don't have to. Yeah, tacos, JJ, tacos.
Yeah, JJ, you're in the Discord.
All things tacos.
Yeah, we need to.
It's good stuff.
It is very good. Yeah, the tacos channel actually started. I think someone accidentally posted about Taco Tuesday and team building. And then I was like, you know what? We need a tacos channel. Why do we not have a tacos channel? So now we have a tacos channel. Great place to... I think we've talked about other foods there too as well. It's not just tacos. I prefer if it is, but
No, but Austin is the kind of city, you guys, for those of you who may not know about Austin, but Austin's the kind of city, at least I feel like this is still true, where you can find the best breakfast tacos you've ever had in a gas station. And there's just like one person in the back just making these to order and like wrapping them up in foil and like, here you go. Yeah. Here is your egg and, insert whatever other protein you want in there.
Yeah, no, breakfast tacos from gas stations, they're the way to go. Or like food trucks in the gas, like right outside the gas station. Also incredible.
For sure. Yes. Yes, totally. Love those.
Yeah.
And they're like just the cash only, like don't bring your credit card, just bring your cash.
Which has been... tacos. That's what's been tougher for me since quarantine, because I'm trying to not handle cash. I'm just trying to like limit the amount of things that I touch that other people touch. But
I wonder if they've made like concessions for that. A lot of places have adapted for stuff. So
I know one place I liked had like their Venmo.
Oh yeah, that's smart.
Yeah, so
because you gotta have your tacos.
Yeah,
man, I want tacos.
Yeah, now I really want some breakfast tacos. I'm not gonna lie. All right, I think we're gonna have to make a call here and potentially switch it up to the next series and either If we can get this last game, I'm going to have to try and work it out with the folks in the Discord. I think we're having a few too many issues with Nibs' stream together. Actually, you know what? Hey, Nibs, are you still on the call? We're actually going to have Nibs share this through Skype. And it's going to be a little bit less quality than what we normally have. Hey, Fly Kitty Power, thanks so much for the follow. But we are going to be able to get this back up. So Nibs, if you can hear me on the call, and if you can go ahead and change over, instead of using OBS, to the way we used to do it with Skype, that'd be great.
Hey, Fly Kitty, that's cool. Your dad used to live in Austin, and now he lives in Buda. I absolutely love Buda. I am like in love with that place. It's not quite as crowded as the city proper, but it's still close enough, you know?
Okay, we are working on getting that set up from Nibs here. So we should have the game feedback. It's going to be a little bit laggier, unfortunately, not as clear and clean as our typical setup, but it will work. That's the benefit over the current OBS setup. So
yeah. Bat and JJ are having a Kentucky gang conference, I guess, in the chat. Both of them being from Kentucky, I gather.
Very cool stuff.
Yeah, like, are there KFCs? Like, that's where it started. Is that really true? Is KFC just is that a misnomer?
Is it actually from Kentucky?
Word. Yeah, I don't know. It could be from, like, Burbank or something. I don't know. I don't imagine it being from California, but...
Okay, I have Nibs' feed here, so give me just one second. Okay, cool. Let me bring it back in. There we go. We're back.
We're back. Nice.
There we go. We are finally getting everything back online here. So, Nibs, you are good to go ahead and start to pair up with Prime. And we're going to have game number 3 here, with game 2 being taken by Prime. Prime was honestly in a pretty good position last time around, bringing Nibs down to quite a bit of damage, had already burned through the Dynamax, and had all 4 Pokemon still available. That Glacier was in a precarious position, unfortunately for it, but still having that Zapdos, or I'm actually not sure what we didn't get to see the 4th Pokemon. We just saw Musharna, Sableye, and the Glacier. So whatever that 4th Pokemon was, could have been in a good position. So luckily we are still going to have our game number 3 here. As long as no more disconnections happen in-game, we should be good. Even if Nibs' Skype call drops just a little bit, we should still be fine.
Yeah, I think everything looks good to me right now. Thanks again, chat, for being patient. We really appreciate you sticking around. But also, I kind of like taking that break to talk to you guys, too. That's fun.
Yeah, for sure. I know when we do our normal broadcast stream, it's kind of hard to always interact with chat throughout. Some of our casters are better at it. Myself, I'm not one of those.
It's hard. It's hard to do 5 things at once.
Yeah, to try and pay attention, do commentary, and then also interact. So thanks all for being so patient. We really do appreciate it. It is always fun to talk. We are looking at trying to integrate some other streams other than just the Monday Night Friendlies here on the ATX channel, potentially getting to do some other fun stuff, and especially some more interactive stuff. In the past, we've had Dynamax Adventure Time.
That's fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. We're going to continue to do that one just in our Discord rather than on stream. Mostly because it was really tough to do Discord voice calls while we were on stream with other people. I remember Woke Fossey, you were there for that one. I think that was your first time doing any kind of commentary on the channel, right?
I think so. Yeah. I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't even do that many raid battles before then. I've done more since.
Yep.
They're fun.
Yeah, for sure. Oh no, JJ, I'm sorry you got a migraine incoming. I hope that clears up fast. Those are the worst. I suffer from migraines as well, and it's just not something you really want to deal with.
They can be really bad.
Yeah.
So Kentucky Fried Chicken is not even from Kentucky. Ain't that something?
Yeah.
We've been lied to. My entire childhood is a lie.
So here we go. We are finally going to go ahead and get our game number 3 of set number 3. We've still got 2 sets to go after this, folks. We've got some really exciting sets left to go. We're going to have Bat versus Grape, and then in the final match of the night, I'm going to be playing Adam Santacos in a rematch of a previous battle. I dubbed that the battle where Adam learned what a Heliolisk was, because I don't think he knew it was electric type or that it was fast.
Oh,
And he
most
let his
electric types are fast.
Yeah, he let his Gyarados into it, and things did not go particularly well for a team that didn't have a Lightning Rod user.
4 times weak. I bet he's ready this time.
Yeah, he knows what Heliolisk is, so I obviously had to adjust my plan just a little bit. So stick around for those battles.
That'll be fun.
So yeah, here we go in game number 3. Kind of given the way last game went, where Nibs was able to kind of stall out the Dynamax that Glacier, but the Glacier still did take a KO into that Dragapult and do a lot of damage into his other Pokemon. Nibs has to be really careful about that this time around. I think that it also took down the Urshifu with a combination of Max Knuckle plus Hail. So forcing it into a 2v4, he's got to be really careful about that. I know last game he learned about that Lumberry there on the Glacier, so not going to want to click Will-O-Wisp this time around. Maybe just opt for something like a Breaking Swipe.
Yeah, I think so. Trying to mitigate that damage before it can really get too many of those chilling Nay boosts up, and then things really start to snowball. I think, the Dragapult's going to make more use of that Breaking Swipe this turn. And of course, the Incineroar is going to put down the Intimidate on both the Sableye and the Glacier to start. Doesn't look like Nibs is deviating from his game plan at all.
Yeah, for sure. Last time, if you remember, it was a Fake Out plus a Max Hailstorm into the Dragapult. So potentially having to think about what Nibs's best play is into the same lead here. If this Glacier decides to go ahead and Dynamax here on turn 1, it's something where he could continue to get some drops onto this. I think you live a -2 Max Hailstorm. Obviously didn't live that -1 Max Hailstorm last time around. This time around, we do see the Quash into the Incineroar, which interestingly enough is immune to Quash, or was it into the Colossal, which obviously isn't moving this turn. So we do see the Ice Cold Crash here. Not wanting to Dynamax,
Nope, that's going to find its target in the Colossal, but because of that Intimidate, does not do a whole lot of damage.
No, doing almost no damage whatsoever. And now, at this point, Nibs is free to go for something like a Parting Shot into just setting up Coles. There's nothing that can really... I mean, the potential for something like Trick Eject Button... Actually, no, it can't, because it's taunted. So, completely free to go ahead and set up the Coles in this turn. Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to do that with the Weakness policy.
Yeah, I imagine we'll see a switch on one side or the other from DJ Prime in this turn, and I don't imagine we're going to see a Dynamax. It looks like that Masharna is going to switch in for maybe this is Nibs, right?
Yeah, this is Nibs.
Wait, is that a Colossal in a water ball?
Yeah, it's in a
dive ball.
Yeah, this is Wolf's rental team. So I remember noting that yesterday on stream. I was like, oh, he put it in a dive ball. Really good placement.
I wonder what Nibs thinks of that. Nibs probably likes it. Nibs probably all for it.
Yeah.
He's all about the cool Pokeballs. We do go ahead and see the Protect come out from the Glacier. Not at all surprising. Hey, Gil. Thanks a lot for the host.
Yeah, thanks for rating us. We appreciate it. So here we see the G-Max Volcolith go into that Protecting Glacier. Not doing a whole lot of damage here again, but... Most importantly, the taunt went into that Musharna, likely forcing it off the field yet again. Kind of being in this position where Nibs can continually taunt and get residual damage onto this Glacier or anything that wants to switch in. You're clearly in a really good position. So, thanks so much, y'all, for joining. How was I was gonna say, how was y'all's stream? Yeah. I love I almost said Palpitoad and Charmander.
It's close.
Yeah, very cool stuff.
Oh, yeah, that Charmander's so cute. Yeah, it looks like that Nibs might just be free to launch another taunt into that Masharna slot, expecting the Sableye to switch back in. We could also see something like a Parting Shot directed at the Glacier.
Yeah, for sure. I think, being really safe to continually taunt into that slot, because obviously these Musharnas, if they're carrying an attacking move, it's something psychic. We actually see an ally switch. Wait, was it Mental Herb taunt, or did I miss what the Incineroar did last turn?
I didn't see it either.
Yeah, it might have been
Incineroar taunted.
Yeah, it might have been a mental herb proc there. So here we see the Volcalith now going to this Musharna slot, doing a whole lot of damage, bringing it down within range of probably 2 residuals, as the high horsepower here at -1, not going to be enough, and is going to proc the weakness policy for this Colossal, getting it to the position where it's not now afraid of this trick eject button.
Right. Yeah, I don't know that...
Oh my gosh, Gil!
Thanks for the sub.
Yeah, thank you. We really appreciate it.
Go ahead. For those of you who are new here, you might want to go ahead and check out our Discord if you want to be part of the Monday Night Friendlies and join us here on stream. Go ahead and check out our ATX VGC Discord.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much. And Gil, you'll get linked up to the sub portion of the Discord. I know it usually takes a little bit of time for Discord to recognize that stuff, but we're excited to have you. Thank you so much for the sub.
Now if you're DJ Prime, you're in a bit of a bad spot here. The Zapdos might still be in the back, threatening some big damage. And remember that Prime hasn't used any Dynamax turns left, but it looks like Nibs is just going to take a double KO here.
Yeah, getting another KO here, completely neutralizing that Glacier for every turn that it was on the field, and basically forcing it to not Dynamax. Really well played by Nibs. Now you know that all that's left is going to be this Sableye, as well as whatever DJ Prime's 4th Pokemon is. If you can get a taunt into that Sableye, you pretty much make it non-effective for the majority of the game. It is the Landorus here, so getting an Intimidate down onto the Incineroar is nice, but really threatening with an Earthquake or a Max Quake here is kind of really the big play.
Now the interesting thing here is I think that we already know that this Landorus does have access to the spread move Earthquake. I think we saw that in game 1, didn't we? Or am I tripping?
Yeah, no, we did see an Earthquake. I'm fairly certain we did.
This Landorus is at full attack right now. It's not been intimidated. It's maybe able to do some damage to either of these Pokemon on the field. Of course, the Incineroar could opt for something like a parting shot if the Landorus goes ahead and Dynamaxes. And I think that's what we're going to see here.
Yeah, it does seem to be what we see here. So yeah, I think staying in and going for a parting shot's a really good play because it forces you. The Incineroar unintimidated can go for a Max Quake there into the Incineroar, but then you are foregoing damage onto the Colossal, which is something else you have to consider. So now that this Landorus is single target, it's in a position where potentially it can only pick up 1 KO per turn, right? And this Sableye not really going to be helping a whole lot. So we do see the Max Quake come out. It's really going to be key who it targets, though.
I imagine the target is the Incineroar because the Colossal did not yet have its Steam Engine boost, but that knockout might give it the positioning it needs to get that Steam Engine boost.
Yeah.
I don't know. If you have the Urshifu, it might KO from the range that Colossal is at.
Yeah, it's definitely KOing Colossal from where it's at. It does about 25% or like 30, like up to 50%
when it's
on
max.
Dynamax. Yeah. Or when to max.
Yeah.
So Dragapult's a little bit better position here. The fact that this Landorus didn't go for something like a speed boost means that you can go for like a Will-O-Wisp or a Breaking Swipe. The unfortunate thing is the Sableye is still in a position where it can go for a Quash into that slot, and it can force the Dragapult to be in a position where it's going to have to move after the Landorus regardless of speed tiering.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Nibs here just really needs to try and preserve his Urshifu for the endgame, and if he can potentially pick off this Sableye in the meantime, and force a 1v1 of the Landorus versus the Urshifu, I think he's got to feel pretty good about the Urshifu's chances.
This Landorus could have access to something like a Max Airstream too to boost its speed, so in case we do see the Ally Switch.
Yeah, Ally Switch coming out here from the Sableye. The Will-O-Wisp is going to go into that Sableye now, unfortunately, and not into the Landorus. So opting for the Ally Switch as opposed to Quash, we do see the Max Airstream, which will guarantee this to be faster than the opposing Dragapult, and it just takes the one-hit KO on Dragapult there.
It is enough to take the Dragapult down.
Yeah.
So now we're in a pretty interesting position. Colossal is boosted. It's at max 2 special attack. So it's going to be threatening some big damage here. It
We
goes for a heat wave.
could see, okay, we didn't see a heat wave burn. I was thinking the only thing that could happen here is a potential heat wave burn. The one thing is that this Urshifu, knowing the item on it, I'm pretty sure that Prime has seen this, or if he hasn't, he should know from Wolf's team, that it's in a position to where it's going to take 2 hits to KO it. So,
Yep. It is carrying that Focus Sash. Focus Sash Urshifu, in my opinion, is better than Choice Band Urshifu.
I really like it too. I know that you and I both ran the exact same team for a while, utilizing a Focus Sash variant of the single striker Shifu. It's just, it feels, I'm so afraid of the amount of things that outspeed it and get access to max airstream that I need at least 1 hit on it. You know, if I get 1, then I feel so much
because
better.
It's so good that it can hit through protect. Like, yeah, that 1 hit that you get with it, if it's put in the right place, it can win you games.
Yeah, for sure. Let me come check up here on Sash. So, this is actually a really good play here. It is opting to trick the eject button for the Focus Sash, which means it's going to go down to this max airstream right here.
It is, in fact, going to go down to this max airstream. And now we see the Landorus and the Sableye versus Colossal.
Yeah, so I think Colossal really, really needs some kind of a burn here. If it can get perhaps a Heat Wave burn onto the Landorus.
That is enough to take out the Sableye. Let's see if the burn happens.
No burn coming out.
Burn.
I think that that's going to be the end. I think, like, perhaps knowing that something like the trick might have been coming, maybe going for an Aqua Jet onto the Landorus, trying to get that extra bit of damage might have been just enough.
Might have made a difference. It also shows you how good, I guess that's the word I'll use, Colossal is without its steam engine.
Yeah, it does have the
dynamite
really
or the weakness
rely
policy. On that. It does have the weakness policy, but it really relies on that speed advantage to really get offensive pressure going against a lot of threats.
Yeah, I think from here, the win condition is perhaps a missed earthquake, which doesn't feel like a thing that can happen.
Not going to happen.
Yeah, so a really good effort. I think that Nibs put himself in, like a couple little changes that could have happened. Maybe going for something like that Aqua Jet, and then maybe if you get a burn on one of those 2 heat waves, you're in a better position. But really, really well played by both of our trainers there. So Prime is going to take this set 2-1.